Mississippi police shot and killed a 1-year-old black baby over an allegedly stolen box of diapers. One box of diapers to them was worth a baby's life. On June 14th, 1-year-old Cohen Wiley was in the car with his mother and aunt after they had left the Walmart carrying one box of diapers that were allegedly stolen. The police's response? Opened fire on their car in Walmart in the middle of the day in broad daylight, taking the life of that little baby and wounding his aunt. It's worth noting that reports on the ground are saying that that box of diapers wasn't even stolen. They bought it and had a receipt for it, but somebody had called saying it was stolen, and now that baby is gone, and his mother is grieving with no baby over a singular box of diapers. I don't care if they were stolen or not. A baby isn't worth a box of diapers. And do you know how desperate you have to be to steal diapers, much less a box of diapers? Just one? This is a system that cannot be reformed because this is a system doing what they think is its job. It is not to protect people. It is not to help people. It is not to offer aid. It is to cause harm and pain and suffering under the guise of power and control. No amount of kind words, good energy, or even action is enough to bring this family the comfort that they deserve in this dark hour. But we need to do all of that and more anyway, because that baby should be here. And the fact that he isn't should outrage everyone. Everyone.
Yeah, so they're killing the kids. They're killing the kids. They're killing the kids. And they're killing the kids hoping that you don't care because the kid doesn't look like your kids. They're killing the kids hoping that you don't care because the kid doesn't look like your kids. But it will be your kids. It'll be your kids. And when they finally come for you, there will be nobody to defend you because you never stood for anybody else. They're going to tell you somehow the kid had a weapon. I don't know. The kid had a weapon and we found a weapon on the kid. That's why we did it. And then y'all gonna say, yeah, you know what? That makes a whole lot of sense, right? Because even if somebody was to steal a box of diapers, right? They killed the kid. They shot into a car saying that we knew that there was a kid in that car and we shot into that car. And every time there's an accusation of theft, there for some weird reason, right? There's no theft, but there's a dead black kid. They're killing the kids. And they're hoping because the kid doesn't look like your kid, you won't say anything.
First, I want to say to Cohen Wiley's family, I am so sorry. I am so sorry y'all lost y'all baby. I am so sorry. But over diapers, you shot into a car. You were reckless. That police officer was reckless. You shot into a car in a parking lot that could have had pedestrians walking around. So shooting into that car could have also got someone else hit. And you took a life, a 1-year-old baby, over some fucking diapers. Diapers! God damn, every time I turn around, y'all are unaliving us for the stupidest shit, a water bottle. Bag of Skittles. Walking home with your groceries. Sleeping in your fucking bed. Buying a goddamn lottery ticket. Like, y'all do not see black people as fucking human. And it's evident. And we don't have to prove it to y'all because it's happening to us every fucking day. Y'all prove it to us every fucking day that y'all don't see even our children, our babies, as human. I thank God sometimes he did not allow me to have kids. Because anybody that would take my child's life, I don't give a fuck who you are. You're going down with them. Every naked mole rat that will say she shouldn't have been stealing, she paid for it. She had her fucking receipt.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kristen and thank you so much for tuning in. What's really happening to black Americans? Because it's just a few days ago when a 14-year-old black boy was unalived. Very innocent. Right now, another black 1-year-old child has been unalived. It now seems unaliving black people is the new trend. These are innocent souls, unalived out of nothing. What makes the matter even worse is that the police officers responsible for unaliving them are not charged with murder or anything. The police who unalived this 1-year-old black child has only been placed on administrative leave. That shows how Black Americans are being taken for granted. I've got these videos that I have lined up for you, and I want us to watch them together. Then thereafter I will be back so that we can talk about them.
This baby right here is Cohen Wiley, and he is no longer with us today. At a Walmart in Mississippi, there was reports of 2 women taking a box of diapers from the store. And there was another report that when the police confronted them at the parking lot of the store, the car almost hit the police car and there were shots fired. The passenger was injured, but this little boy, his life was taken. There was no confirmation if the 2 people stole the box of diapers or not, but this is wrong. There is a better way to solve this issue instead of shooting at the car with a child inside. It feels like no matter what we do, no matter if we're right or wrong, people will find a way to take our lives like we're expendable.
There's no way you can see black people as human, because how the hell can you look at this child and say, well, if they didn't steal the diapers, he wouldn't have been shot? They shot a baby. They shot a baby, and then they said, yeah, we knew that there was a baby in the car, and we shot into the car. And then the car was driving away from them, but they felt in fear for their life, so they fired a bullet inside of the car and hit the baby. And they're saying that she had the receipt for the diapers. But the punishment of the crime of theft is not even murder. Police are not judge, jury, but for black people, they are. They are judge, jury, and executioner. You people are monsters because you can look at a baby, and because the skin is darker than yours, you can really say, hey, he got shot for a reason. We are living amongst real life monsters. You people are soulless. Racism has taken your soul. When they say that these people do not have a soul, it's impossible for you to have a soul and look at a baby and say that he was shot for shoplifting and really be okay with that.
She didn't steal the diapers. But even if Cohen Wiley's mum had stolen the diapers, what justification would it give for a police officer to start shooting at her car and then end up shooting her 1-year-old son that was in that car, shooting him dead? What justification would there have been because they apparently allegedly stole diapers? We're doing all of that for diapers? Because it's more than that. And whoever called in from Walmart, the supermarket that they were at, to even report that in the first place, if hell exists, I want you to go there first and foremost, right? But a police officer arrives and then you're shooting at the car and then you kill a 1-year-old child. He's now on administrative leave or something. Throughout history, this whole trope about black people being thieves has been used as justification, as an excuse to harm black people. Black people are walking through the streets or they're sat somewhere. A white person will pull their bags closer to them. If anybody needs to be pulling their bag closer to themselves, if anybody needs to be worrying about somebody else stealing their things, I would think black people would be the ones across the diaspora who should be the ones who are worried, because white Europeans stole continents. Like they stole countries within continents. The Berlin Conference, you all got together and sliced up people's countries and said that this is mine, sliced up people's histories across ethnic groups and just said, yeah, I'm going to take this. And then stole people across the Atlantic to then get them to go and build the countries that you had stolen. That is the biggest theft in history. And one could argue it's still ongoing. But then we start looking at the pathologization of blackness and how it's been made akin to black people being untrustworthy. Black people are going to steal, so therefore it justifies whatever happens to them. When we think about Yves Sakila, who was killed in Ireland, he was knelt on by security guards and he died as a result of that. Why? Because they said he was shoplifting. We have to get to the point where we're like, we don't give a hell. We don't give a hell. We don't give a heck. Whatever you're about to tell us about anybody stealing anything, we don't care, because we live in a society that is unequal. We are being stolen from in terms of our labor, our lives, our souls, all of the time by the government and the corporations. We don't give a heck if that's the reasoning that you're going to give. Stop killing black people. You've killed a 1-year-old child. Where do we go from here? And then tear gas is being dispersed when people are protesting against this, because it is unfair, and black lives are worth so much more than what these institutions and these oppressive systems would have us believe. That's all.
According to America, diapers are worth more than the life of a 1-year-old black baby. A 1-year-old black baby, Cohen Wiley, got shot and killed by the cops in Mississippi on June 14th, and his family was accused of taking some diapers from Walmart, and they opened fire into the car with the baby inside, and it was all over some diapers, man. And they bought those diapers too, and they had the receipt, and the cops still opened fire into the car with the 1-year-old baby inside. They weren't committing any kind of theft. It was just a scared family trying to get away from aggressive armed policing over nothing, and now a baby is dead. And this just goes to show you it's past time to end qualified immunity.
I promise you don't hate the police enough. A 1-year-old baby was fatally shot by police in Senatobia, Mississippi Sunday after a mom was accused of shoplifting diapers despite reports showing that she prepaid for the Walmart items. When confronted, the mother was communicating with police that there was a baby in a car, and that's when officers opened fire. The officer involved is now placed on leave. It's sickening that black people have to live in a society with these inhumane scum. Meanwhile, degenerate conservatives want to give immunity to these racist terrorists. Cops are allowed the excuse of fearing for their lives against babies and puppies, but black teens can't fear for their lives when violently attacked by gangs of white thugs.
What y'all not understanding and what y'all not listening to, it doesn't matter if she stole that pack of diapers. It doesn't matter if the diapers was stole or the diapers was not stole. This just let you guys know right here that what the fuck we got going on with the police department. Because what do you mean you shot and killed a 1-year-old baby over shoplifting? Diapers, that let's even be more clear. The diapers was not stolen. She didn't even steal. But what the fuck do you mean you guys? So like I said, it doesn't matter that the diapers were stolen or was not stolen. They seen that child go into that car, the car that they later pursued, chased down, and fired into. Like I said, they seen that 1-year-old child go into that car that they later pursued and shot into. So it does not matter about the diapers. The cops had it in their mind right then and right there when they got to the scene what the fuck they wanted to do. Because ain't no way. Ain't no motherfucking way. There's no justifying it. You can't justify it. Say that baby's name. Hello?
I want to take this time to say rest in peace to young Cohen Wiley. As a Mississippi resident, I do feel the need to speak on the matter of a 1-year-old boy being pew-pewed by the police at Walmart in Senatobia, Mississippi. My heart and my deepest condolences go out to the family, and I'm disgusted by this. This entire situation started with the mother of the child allegedly shoplifting diapers. Now, the question I'm about to ask, most of you know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If the young lady was suspected of shoplifting, how come nobody was gracious enough to help her pay for it? How come the immediate response was to involve the people who don't care about black people to intervene? Again, we don't even know if she was shoplifting. This is another prime example of a black life lost based on suspicion.
Never been hired again on anybody's police force because he was fired for misconduct multiple times, amongst other things. But I want that Tyndale, that police commissioner, to understand that baby Cohen didn't get an investigation. There was all speculation, accusations that were not substantiated. They were not there for them. These officers were already at the Walmart when they were alerted by someone. Not sure if it was a customer or if it was a employee of Walmart. They went chasing them. They weren't even there for them. They weren't called there for them. But that officer fired shots. And from what I hear, the mother had a receipt. The diapers were paid for.
A baby! Over shoplifting? Some shit that didn't even fucking happen. But shoplifting. Fuck y'all. I have nothing constructive to say.
The fact that we have grown adults arguing whether a 1-year-old child deserves sympathy should terrify us all. A 1-year-old will not get to see their second birthday. Cohen Wiley is dead. And we have to do some deep reflection of ourselves and who we are or who we are becoming when we go to justification before grief, justification before a friggin' receipt. What's scary is that people truly believe that compassion is conditional. A 1-year-old should never have to pass a character test before any person mourns. The fact that Cohen Wiley doesn't get to see another day should be enough. It's not. Y'all want receipts. You want to understand if she was driving towards or away. Child's funeral is being planned, and I don't hear enough people asking this.
Diapers. They called the police on a woman because they thought she was stealing diapers for the toddler she was with. Supposedly, she actually has the motherfucking receipt for purchasing the diapers. And then, of course, they are trying to get the fuck away from this store that is trying to call them thieves, calling the police on them. And they shoot and kill a toddler over a box of goddamn diapers. If you needed a reason to stop going to Walmart and stop tolerating that bullshit, let today be that day. Diapers. Black women can't even buy fucking diapers for their babies.
Okay, so I felt the need to share something with some of you, not so sweet souls, about the murder of 1-year-old Cohen Wiley. He was in a vehicle and the people inside were suspected of theft, of shoplifting. Here in the United States, these United States of America, theft these days is not an offense punishable by the death penalty. I don't give a fuck if the people in the car stole. I'm not saying it's right. But the death penalty for theft doesn't exist here.
Hey, this is just a reminder that shoplifting is not a capital offense. It doesn't matter how much you steal, or allegedly steal. You can't get sentenced to death for that. And there is no crime on earth in which a 1-year-old child is like put to death justifiably. There's nothing on the books. Like, a lot of y'all are getting that way too confused, man. And it's concerning, but it's also unsurprising given who it's coming from. Yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and say it. If that baby was lighter in skin tone, the Law and Order crowd would most definitely be singing a different tune. There would definitely be a whole different atmosphere going on with the Law and Order crowd right now. But you're showing your true colors, like you always do. So what?
Hey, quick talk, come over here. I don't give a flying fuck what someone steals from a multi-billion-dollar corporation, allegedly, okay? That is not grounds for police murdering them, especially a 1-year-old baby. This shouldn't be a fucking hot take.
Welcome back. So this is an innocent soul unalived for nothing. The reason for his death is associated with his mother being accused of stealing diapers. But then the charges for theft is not murder. And then you can ask yourself this: if these were white people, would the mother be accused of stealing and would the child still be unalived? And the answer to the question is very simple, and we all know it. This shows how Black Americans are not treated fairly as white people. The sad thing is that the police officers unaliving these black kids are not charged with murder or anything. They are walking freely as if nothing happened, clearly indicating how black lives don't matter in America, how black lives are meaningless in America. These are black innocent souls denied their justice. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about this episode down in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.